At the beginning of the drama, the male lead Xiao asks Xiao Tu if she has filled the form for admission in the university, to which Xiao Tu replies that her father is not agreeing. Then Xiao says that he wants both of them to study in the same university because he wants to see her daily. We see a flashback scene of 3 years ago where we come to know that both of them are childhood friends. Xiao Tu's parents are scolding her because she got 29th rank in the class while Xiao got 1st rank. Xiao tells her parents that a student was unwell, so he could not give the exam. Otherwise, she would have got the last rank. Hearing this, Xiao Tu's mother throws her out of the house. After this, Xiao Tu goes to Xiao's house and starts watching the drama there. But Xiao turns off the computer and says that you have to call me elder brother. But Xiao Tu refuses to let him call her elder brother, and they both start fighting. Then a girl named Ling Long, who is Xiao Tu's classmate, comes to his house, who likes Xiao and has brought cookies for him, but she feels jealous seeing him with Xiao Tu and leaves from there. The next day when Xiao Tu goes to school, her friend Jiang tells her that a gang of some rowdy boys is breaking the bicycles of the school students and taking money from them. After this, Jiang takes out her mobile in the class and starts looking at the photo of her idol. Then the teacher comes there and snatches her mobile and tells her that she will get the mobile after the final exam. Hearing this, Xiao Tu gives her mobile to Jiang to use. On the other hand, Xiao was planning to go out somewhere else with his friends after the school. Xiao Tu sees Xiao's bicycle fallen, and some blood was also spilled there. She feels that the rowdy gang has targeted Xiao, so then she goes to search for him. On the other hand, when Xiao reaches home, he comes to know that Xiao Tu has not returned home yet. So he goes to search for her, where he sees that some boys were bullying Xiao Tu. Then Xiao brings her home with him. After coming home, he starts wiping her hair and tells her that next time she goes somewhere, she should tell him before going. If something happens to her, his mother will not spare him. Then both of them start wiping their hair with the same towel. Now, a flashback shows a scene where, when Xiao was born, he did not cry at all, but when Xiao Tu comes to him, he starts crying. After this, they grow up together, and Xiao Tu considers him her younger brother. She always wanted to protect him, but in trying to protect him, she always ended up hurting him. Because of this, he never considered her his sister because she always tried to boss him around. In the next scene, we see that a student named Han comes to their school. Some girls were looking at him, but when Xiao passes by, they start flirting with him. Seeing this, Han becomes jealous. In the next scene, their teacher assigns them some responsibilities for the school. After this, Xiao Tu is cleaning the school with her friend Ji Yang when Ji Yang asks her to help steal her phone from the principal's office. Xiao Tu, feeling emotional, and agrees to steal the phone. Just then, Qiao and his classmate Xin Lan arrive. Qiao tells her that they are in charge of hygiene and that you are not cleaning properly, so we could deduct your points. Just then, they see a polythene bag hanging on a tree, and Xiao Tu climbs up to get it, but her foot slips and she falls down. Her pants tear. Qiao immediately covers her with his jacket and starts taking her home, which makes Xin Lan feel a bit jealous. When they get home, she starts cleaning Qiao's room, where she finds a box under the bed. Qiao tells her not to open the box, but she opens it anyway. There were some hot movie CDs inside. He immediately covers her eyes and tells her that those are his desk mate's CDs. Xiao Tu says she will keep it a secret, but he has to help her in return. The next day, she takes him with her to the principal's office to steal Ji Yang's phone. Just then, Han comes there too. The three of them are searching for the phone when their teacher, who was sleeping there, sees them stealing the phone. Qiao makes an excuse and leaves, but then the teacher takes the phone from Xiao Tu and punishes the two of them by making them run around the ground. In the next scene, Xiao Tu goes to Qiao's house to give him a box of apples and tells him that he has cheated her and she will tell everyone what kind of CDs he watches. Just then, Qiao shows her the phone that he took from the teacher, but the teacher, in return for the phone, made him write an apology letter, which he is currently writing. Just then, Xiao Tu sees a smoked cigarette in the dustbin and scolds him, saying that he has started smoking too. But Qiao himself doesn't know where the cigarette came from. The next day, Qiao is having breakfast when he notices that his mom is dressed up nicely and heading to the office. In the next scene, Ji Yang is sitting in class, calculating everyone's future, when the teacher comes in and asks Ling Long a question. When Ling Long cannot answer, the teacher tells her to leave the class. Ling Long then tells the teacher that Xiao Tu and Ji Yang were also talking in class, so the teacher sends them out as well. Xiao Tu, seeing Qiao and Xin Lan, comes to there, so she hides her face with a book. Qiao comes up to her and says she's so stupid that she's holding the book upside down, then walks away. After school, when Qiao is heading home, he sees a man picking up his mom, which makes him feel very bad. The next day, Qiao's mom tells him that now he's grown up, he should live his life by his own way. Then she leaves with that man. But this is just a bad dream Chao has. When he wakes up, Xiao Tu gives him candy to eat. Later, when Chao goes home, he sees a car leaving from outside his house. When he gets home, he notices nail polish on his nails. He knows this must be Xiao Tu's doing, so he calls to scold her, but Xiao Tu cuts the call, pretending she's preparing for exams. However, she is actually checking her fortune, which says her good luck is running, so she doesn't study much for the exam. The next day, Chao gives her mom an earring as a birthday gift and asks if that man didn't come to celebrate her birthday. Her mom asks if he wants to meet him, but Chao says no, he just wants to see her happy. The next day, they are checking their exam results, where Han came first and Chao second, but Xiao Tu barely passed with very low marks. On the way home, she asks Chao not to tell his mom about her results. At home, she doesn't let him say anything so that he doesn't mention the results, but someone had already sent her results home, which makes her mom very angry with her. The next day, Xiao Tu scolds Ling Long because she was the one who sent her report card home. In the next scene, the geography teacher is teaching the class, while Xiao Tu and Ji Young are sketching in their books, so their seats are changed. Now Ji Young is sitting with a classmate named Wan, and Xiao Tu's desk mate is Han. Xiao Tu tells Han that she knows he must not feel right sitting with a backbencher, but Han says no matter who his desk mate is, his goal is to defeat Chao, and he will achieve it. In the next scene, Xiao Tu has a dream in which the world is about to end, and monsters capture her and Chao. Scared by this dream, she calls Chao and tells him about it. Chao explains to her that the world will not end, and he starts explaining a theory, which makes Xiao Tu so bored that she falls asleep. The next day, Xiao Tu's mom brings innerwear for both of them, and tells them that both have a rabbit pattern on their clothes. Xiao Tu liked the rabbit, but Chao did not at all. Xiao Tu says if the world is about to end, they should wear the same t-shirts, but Chao refuses. Then Xiao Tu mistakenly takes Chao's bag and leaves. After that, Chao sees Xiao Tu's bag, which had girl's bra inside. Seeing this, he nervously puts it back. Then he shows it to Xiao Tu and tells her that she is taking his clothes, so Xiao Tu feeling embarrassed and leaves from there. During the rest hour, Xiao Tu starts eating snacks, which wakes Han up. Xiao Tu offers him snacks, but he says he doesn't eat junk food. In the next scene, when Chao goes home, his mom says that today she is going to introduce him to a man. Then the man arrives, who turns out to be his dad. Seeing him, Chao goes to his room. Meanwhile, Xiao Tu sees from her house that the same car is parked in front of Chao's house, which had come to pick up Chao's mom that day. Then Chao goes to Xiao Tu's house, and she asks him to watch TV to make him feel comfortable. But Chao's attention doesn't divert from this, so she asks him to play a game with her parents. The next day, both of them are going to school together on bicycles when Han sees them together. He thinks that their personalities are different, so how are they together? Maybe they are in a relationship. During lunch, Han sits next to Xiao Tu. Seeing Han with girls, the principal calls him to his office. In the next scene, the class teacher tells Han that they have made a rule in the school that boys and girls will stay away from each other. So why did he break the rule? Is he in love with Xiao Tu? Han says that it's Xiao Tu and Chao who are in love, and he was just collecting evidence. But the teacher doesn't believe him. At the end of the school day, Han again sees them together. The next day, he asks Xiao Tu what her relationship with Chao is. Xiao Tu tells him that they are just neighbors, just like siblings. Han asks if she knows everything about him. Xiao Tu says yes, he even helps her with her homework. Hearing this, Han happily says that means he gets less time to study. To know more about Chao, Han starts getting closer to Xiao Tu and takes great care of her. In the next scene, Chao is going home by another route and tells Xiao Tu that someone is following them. Xiao Tu sees that Han was following them. She happily tells Chao that Han has fallen in love with her, and that's why he is indirectly dropping her home. Chao says no one can love her. He must have a hidden motive, that's why he is caring for her. After this, their winter vacation begins, where Xiao Tu is having dinner while chatting with Han, which makes Chao very jealous. In the next scene, Chao is watching TV while Xiao Tu is still chatting with Han. Han messages her saying that if she wants help with her homework, they should meet at the cafe tomorrow. Xiao Tu thinks Han is going to confess his love, so she agrees to meet him. The next day, Chao follows Xiao Tu to keep an eye on her. Their friends, including Xin Lan, also join him. Meanwhile, Han offers Xiao Tu a cake. Xiao Tu asks Han if he likes her, but Han shockingly says no. Xiao Tu asks then why he is giving her a cake and taking care of her so much. Han responds that he is just doing it as a desk mate. When Han gets cake on his lips, Xiao Tu wipes it off. causing Han's heart to skip a beat. After this, Xiao2 tries to pay half of the bill, but Han refuses to take money from a girl. Nevertheless, she insists on paying. After this, they all come face to face. Xinlan asks them if they are dating. Xiao2 denies it, saying they were just doing homework together. Then, Xiao2 shows them a clothing shop where she tries a sweater. However, Chao picks another sweater that he likes for her, and Han also chooses one for her to try. Both Han and Chao try to pay for Xiao2's sweater, but in the end, Chao pays with his own money. Outside the store, Chao asks Xiao2 for the money for the sweater. Xiao2 says she doesn't have it and gives him 10 yuan. Chao asks if she thinks he is a beggar and tells her to consider the sweater a New Year's gift from him. After the vacation ends, everyone goes back to school. Some girls who have a crush on Chao give him many gifts, but he ignores them. Then, the class teacher announces that all students need to choose between arts and science. During lunch, Han asks Xiao2 what she will choose, arts or science. Xiao2 says it depends on her results. Han then asks what Chao will choose, and Xiao2 says she doesn't know. After school, when they are heading home together, Han also makes an excuse to join them. Xiao2 tells Chao that Han knows the way to her house. Then Chao tells her to go home because someone was following them. It turns out the man following them is Chao's dad. Chao asks his dad why he is following them. His dad says he just wanted to see him happy. Chao tells his dad that he left them by his own choice, so he should not come back into their lives. Meanwhile, Xiao2 takes Han to her home, where Han feels very uncomfortable. Xiao2's dad tells Han that he is more handsome than Chao, which makes Han very happy. Later, Chao's family also comes to have dinner with them. To show that he is better than Chao, Han does all the housework. When he is about to leave, he discovers that his bicycle has been stolen, so Xiao2 offers him her bicycle. The next day on their way to school, Xiao2 asks Chao whether she should choose science or arts. Chao says that whether she chooses science or arts, she will still fail. Then, Xinlan offers breakfast to Chao, but he refuses. At school, Xiao2 tells Jiang that Xinlan might be jealous because of her closeness with Chao. When they go to class, Xiao2 sees Xinlan gossiping about her, then Xiao2 scolds her. On the other hand, Chao avoids both Xinlan and Linglong. The next day, during computer class, Xiao2 gets an idea and, pretending to be Jiang, messages Chao asking if he likes her and if he would go eat chicken together after school. Chao replies, "Xiao2, if you want to eat chicken, just say so directly." In the next scene, Jiang tells Xiao2 that Han likes her. He also gave her milk tea, and since she accepted it, it means she likes him too. Then Jiang suggests her to spending time with Han outside school. In the following scene, Han gets ready nicely, but Xiao2 takes him to taekwondo class instead. Meanwhile, when Chao goes home and sees slippers, he realizes his dad is visiting, so he goes to Xiao2 Ella's house. After this, Han comes to drop Xiao2 off at her house, where he tells Xiao2 that his dream is to become a singer and dancer, but his parents are forcing him to focus on studies. Then he drops Xiao2 off at her house and leaves. When Xiao2 reaches home, she sees that Chao was waiting for her there. Chao asks her if she really thinks Han is her Prince Charming. There must be some hidden motive behind his approach. In response, Xiao2 says that he must be feeling jealous. Saying this, she goes inside. After this, when Chao goes back home, he sees his dad's car parked in front of his house. Then he goes to Tu's house again, where all the friends of Xiao2 and Han were also present. Chao gets angry seeing that Han was wearing his slippers, so Xiao2 gives him her slippers. Then they all play Truth and Dare together, where Zhang gives the dare to Xiao2 to stare at any classmate for 10 seconds. So she chooses Han, where Han's perspective was slowly converting from friend to lover when Chao starts staring at him, and he diverts. The next morning, Chao's mom was not feeling well, but she's still preparing breakfast. At that moment, Chao's father also arrives there, so Chao leaves without having breakfast. Meanwhile, Xiao2 Ella's mom tells her that Chao, Linglong all have dreams, but why hasn't she had any dreams so far? Then her father starts favoring Xiao2, so they argue and her father leaves home. In the next scene, Xiao2 was asking everyone with a camera what their dream is, even asking her class teacher and principal about their dreams. The next day, Chao was waiting at Xiao2 Ella's house for his father to leave. Xiao2 says that you are not even going and not letting me sleep. I don't know why are you so unreasonable. Then Chao sees that the car has left, So he goes home, but his father stops him and gives some medicine to take care of his mother. Chow thinks, I was behaving so selfishly that I didn't even notice that mom isn't feeling well. Now he takes the medicine and asks his father to come with him. Having breakfast together the next morning was quite an awkward situation for both of them. So Chow quickly finishes breakfast and leaves for school. In the next scene, the teacher comes to the class and informs them that there is a parent-teacher meeting tomorrow. After the class is over, Han comes to meet Xiao Tu. Seeing this, Jiang asks if his class has changed. Still, why does he come here daily? Does he like Xiao Tu? Now, neither does he say yes, nor does he refuse. Han asks Xiao Tu if she isn't afraid of tomorrow's parent-teacher meeting. Xiao Tu replies that her parents are out of town. The next day, all parents come to school where Chow's mom sitting at Xiao Tu LS desk, because Xiao Tu LS parents were out of town. On the other hand, Chow's father also attends Chow's class, where the teacher praises that his academic performance is good, but he isn't very talkative, so the parents should pay more attention to him. On the other hand, they all are mimicking how their parents will lecture them after the meeting. Han starts to feel attracted to Xiao Tu slowly, but when he sees Xiao Tu and Chow getting close, he feels very jealous. In the next scene, Xiao Tu and Jiang overhear some students talking about how Chow's mom impersonated Xiao Tu LS mom at the parent-teacher meeting. They also hear a rumor about Xiao Tu and Chow being childhood sweethearts. Another girl mentions hearing that Xiao Tu and Han are quite close nowadays. Jiang tries to interrupt, but Xiao Tu tells her to ignore it. Han also gets jealous by hearing about it. Then the teacher comes and advises him to focus on studies for admission to a good college, promising to give him tips on approaching his crush afterward. On the other side, Xiao Tu was hiding from Chow to prevent the rumor from spreading further. When she tells Chow about it, he says she didn't care when the rumor involved her and Han. Xiao Tu says that it wasn't true. Chow asks if their current rumor is true and takes her away with him. In the next scenes, he brings fruits to Xiao Tu Ella's room and finds that she is talking on the phone with Han. He starts leaving from there, but Xiao Tu stops him and asks him to sign her report card. This leads to an argument between them. During this argument, Han calls again. Xiao Tu asks him to talk later because she is having an important argument with someone. The next day, Chow's friend tells him that Han and Xiao Tu are now in separate classes. He wonders why they still spend so much time together. He imagines Han will be his brother-in-law in 10 years. After this, he starts keeping an eye on them. On the other hand, Xiao Tu and Jiang were reading a comic book, but the cover page looked like a knowledge book to avoid the teacher's attention. Then Jiang takes her to the same shop where the content was comic, despite the knowledge book's cover. Xiao Tu buys a novel whose cover page looks like a computer book, the same one Chow wanted to read. Also, Xiao Tu tells Jiang that tomorrow she will go to watch a movie with Han. In the next scene, Chow's friend is looking for a book on Shin Ian's suggestion and feels cold while searching for it. When Chow finds out about this, he scolds him asking if he will do anything just because others say so. Then his friend tells him that he used to be chubby during school time, and everyone used to make fun of him, except Xin Lan. This leads to an argument between them and Chow's friend punches him. Meanwhile, Han was quite excited to go out with Xiao Tu. On the other hand, Xiao Tu was also ready. But then, Chow comes with his injured face, so she starts cleaning his injury, and Chow keeps looking at her. Then she starts giving him medicine, but Chow didn't like taking medicine. So as always, Xiao Tu forcefully gives him the medicine. Then Han calls him, but her phone was on silent mode. And in the fuss of Chow, she forgot that she have to go to the movie with Han. Next day, Xiao Tu finds out that Han had a fever because he was waiting for her in the cold last night. Hearing this, Xiao Tu wonders what excuse she will make. In the next scene, Han was waiting for her call. When Xiao Tu calls him and he excitedly accepts the call, she apologizes and tells him that Chow got hurt, so she forgot that she had to go to the movie with him. Then Han asks her if she considers Chow a better friend than him. Xiao Tu can't give any answer to this. In the next scene, Jiang comes to Xiao Tu's house to study. When Xiao Tu goes out to see off her friend, she sees a boy playing the violin there named Jun, who is Ling Long's cousin. They used to play together in childhood, and Xiao Tu had a crush on Jun. After that, Xiao Tu tells Ling Long that can she come to her house to do her winter vacation homework. Jun will also help her. So Ling Long says okay, but in return, she will also have to invite Chow to her house. After that, Xiao Tu goes to Chow and tells him that she called Ling Long and Jun to her house to help with homework, so he should also come there to do the homework. But Chow says that he has already finished the homework. Then Xiao-Tu tells him that Jun was her childhood crush. On this, Chao says, "Then what you think about Han?" Xiao-Tu says that he is just her friend. After that, she sees their childhood album in which there was also photos of Jun, so she takes it and starts to leave from there. When Chao tries to stop her, she gets pinned to the door and their heartbeats stop for a while. In the next scene, everyone comes to Xiao-Tu-L's house to do homework. There, Xiao-Tu is secretly watching Jun. Then they take a break from homework and start watching TV. They all plan to eat fried chicken together over the weekend. On the weekend, Xiao-Tu and Chao are waiting for Jun and Ling long. To prevent Xiao-Tu from getting cold, Chao gives her his jacket. Then, the others arrive. Xiao-Tu keeps looking at Jun, which makes Chao jealous, and he stops her from staring. Afterwards, they all go to a restaurant where Xiao-Tu is still looking at Jun, but Chao keeps distracting her. Jun asks Xiao-Tu why she's blushing, and she says he is quite handsome and has been her ideal since childhood. Before she can confess her love, Chao picks her up and takes her away. On the bus ride back, she falls asleep on Chao's shoulder, bringing a smile to his face, and Chao starts feeling attracted to her. In the next scene, we see Han in a washroom and singing a song when a man notices him and starts following him. He tells Han that he is a general manager in the entertainment industry and really liked Han's singing, so he gives him his business card. Han tells all his friends about this and says he doesn't know if he'll get a chance to become a trainee there because his parents might not agree so easily. Xiao-Tu tells him that singing and dancing are his dreams and he should talk to his parents. A few days later, Han tells Xiao-Tu that he passed the audition and his parents agreed to it, but he wasn't happy because he felt Chao was better than him at everything. Then Xiao-Tu tells Han that Chao can't sing, which makes Han happy that he's better than Chao at something. Now we see that Chao's college entrance exams are coming up. Xiao-Tu is helping him prepare a lot. Finally, the exam date arrives. And a day before, she keeps wishing him good luck and asking if he has his admit card, his supplies, and what time he wants to wake up. Irritated by all these questions, Chao tells her to leave from there. After a few days, Chao clears his entrance exam and goes to a new university. Later, Han tells everyone that he'll soon be going abroad for studies. Then he says to Xiao-Tu that after he leaves, they might not meet again like this. But Xiao-Tu reassures him that they can still chat on WeChat. Then, Han emotionally says that he wants her to always remain her best friend. He was about to hug her for goodbye, but just then, Xiao-Tu gets a call from Chao, so she leaves, which makes Han very sad. 2 months later, we see Xiao-Tu working hard for her final exams. Chao messages her, asking how her studies are going. She replies, "Happy birthday," because it was his birthday. In the next scene, all the school students have left, but Xiao-Tu stays there for study alone. When she was leaving, she sees Chao's classroom and sits at his desk. Chao suddenly surprises her. He tells her that she said she would also get admission to the Yunhai University. He encourages her to work hard, and he is waiting for her at the university. Then they start celebrating the birthday. Since they didn't have a candle, she turns on the phone's torch and asks Chao to make a wish. Suddenly, Chao accidentally falls on her, and their hearts start beating very fast. Later, I'm the dorm Chao calls her, but she says that her entrance exam is coming up, so he shouldn't disturb her. Chao tells her to get some rest. After the exam, he wants to tell her something. Hearing this, her roommates tease him, saying that their cold-hearted friend is afraid to express his feelings. Then the exam date arrives, and Chao comes to accompany her. After that, she goes to take the exam with Chao, but accidentally steps in dog's poop. To clean her shoes, Chao sits her down on his legs and says her shoes are dirty, so he gives her his shoes to wear. After that, exams continued for a few days. On the last day, she became very emotional remembering her school days and thought that after today, the end has come for this school, friends, teachers, and all the fun. A few days later, Xiao-Tu-L's results came out where her marks were higher than expected, but not enough for admission to her dream university. Then Chao called her and informed that this time the university has also added journalism as a subject. If she opts journalism for the subject, she can also get admission in this university. After finishing his semester exams, Chao also went home. Now scene come into the present where this drama started. She asks if she has applied to the university. Xiao-Tu tells her that her dad is not agreeing. Chao suggests that if that's the case, she should take admission in another university in the same city because he wants to see her daily. Saying this, he goes close to her and is about to kiss her, but all this was just his imagination. Now, he really goes to her close and tells her that he wants to see her daily. He came so close to her that she pushed him into the water nervously and ran away from there. In the next scene, she goes to her room to meet Chao because he got cold because of falling into the water, but she sees that he was not in his room. A little later, she hears Chao's voice coming, so she hides under his bed. Then he started taking off his clothes one by one, seeing which Xiaotu gets very angry. Chao that how long she would stay here. Before hiding again, she should also hide her sleepers. Then Xiaotu said that why was he taking off his clothes? So he told her that he was taking off his cloths for wash. Now he goes at her close again. She gets angry and run away. A few days later, she comes to the university. There, Zhang also got admission in the same university. Both of them are happy to see that they got same dorm. A little later, Ling Long also comes their dorm because she also got the same room. Then, a new roommate named M.O. comes to their room and they all introduce each other. In the next scene, Chao calls Xiaotu and calls him down and asks him if she is still angry with him. He thinks it is not wrong to remove his clothes in his own room, but Xiaotu is still angry, so he apologizes. Suddenly, they receive a call from their roommates, inviting them for dinner. In the next scene, all their friends go for dinner together, where Chao deliberately sits in front of Xiaotu. Chao's friend tells everyone that last year, the maximum girls in the college had proposed to Chao, but he had directly rejected them all. Ling Long asks Chao if she has a girlfriend, so Chao's friend tells that he has childhood sweetheart. He talks her on call, but she is a very rude and irritable type of girl. After that, all the people play the truth and dare game, where Jiang gives a dare to Xiaotu to go to any handsome boy other than the table and ask for his number. Watching her go, Chao gets very jealous. Then she goes to a boy and asks for his number, and the boy gives it to her. Seeing this, Chao gets extremely drunk and falls unconscious. In the next scene, Xiaotu is going with him to drop him to the dorm, where in his intoxicated state, he tells her not to leave him alone, but Xiaotu, understanding his words as nonsense, leaves him to outside of his dorm. After that, we find out that Chao was just pretending to drink to get close to Xiaotu. In the next scene, Xiaotu is in class when a boy named Qian, who gave his contact number to Xiaotu, arrives. The teachers introduce him as the student union head who will conduct a seminar and needs volunteers. Xiaotu is focused on eating momos and appears to volunteer, so the teacher appoints her. On the college website, rumors spread that Chao, the university's Prince Charming, is a playboy and flirts privately with girls. Hearing this, Xiaotu gets upset and leaves. In the next scene, she goes to meet Chao but doesn't let him check his phone to avoid seeing negative comments. Chao tells her that he blocked the comments and asks if she cares about him. Xiaotu says he studies all day and doesn't have time for girls. Chao replies, asking if she will be upset if he had a girlfriend and couldn't spend time with Xiaotu. She says he's grown up and can have a girlfriend. She won't stop him. The next day, Chao invites Xiaotu to an optional class and they walk together. Xiaotu offers her hand. Chao thinks she wants to hold his hand. He was about to hold her hand, but she says she wants breakfast. Then Qian asks if they know each other. Xiaotu says Chao is her brother, but Chao clarifies they aren't blood-related and takes Xiaotu away. Afterwards, Qian tells Xiaotu about a meeting related to the seminar and asks if she has a camera for photos. Xiaotu says she doesn't, so Qian offers to buy one and takes her along. Chao's roommates tease him, saying that if Xiaotu is his childhood sweetheart, he should pay attention to her, or someone else might take her away. In the dorm, Chao's roommates start giving him ideas to impress Xiaotu. According to their first idea, Chao takes a chocolate bouquet and calls Xiaotu downstairs, but she lowers a basket with a rope from above and tells him to put the bouquet in it. The next day, they give another idea. Chao places some cards in front of Xiaotu, using coding to say, "I'll love you," but she doesn't understand the coding. Frustrated, Chao scolds his roommates, saying their ideas are useless. Then, another friend suggests a third idea. Jiang takes Xiaotu outside and suddenly the lights go out. "Happy birthday" appears on the building, and Chao makes a dramatic entrance, wishing her a happy birthday and gifting her a camera. Later, she writes in her online novel that how Chao's behavior has changed since school ended. He always tries to get close to her, which she doesn't mind. The next day, when Xiaotu meets Chao, she starts avoiding him. Then Chan comes there and tells her that he has a camera, so she should practice now. Then she is clicking photos of both of them together. Seeing Chao with Qian, some students say that how shameless Chao is. Now he is not spares even the boy. The next day, she is in the library when Chao comes there and asks her why she is avoiding him. She says, has he come to ask for her birthday gift? She doesn't have much money this month, so she can't give him a gift. Then they see that Qian was arguing with a girl, both of them come very close to see him, due to which she feels very nervous. After this, both of them start studying there, and Chao falls asleep while studying. Xiao2 starts staring at him and touches his face. Then someone captures a photo of them. She sees that again someone has posted Chao's photo, but Xiao2's photo was cropped from it. In the next scene, they attend Chao's birthday party, where everyone is surprised to see that Xiao2 didn't bring a gift for him. Then everyone demands her to bring a birthday gift and sends them for shopping. At the mall, she's shocked at the price of a dress, saying she can't afford it, so Chao tells her to try it once. After trying a shirt that looks good on him, Xiao2 also likes it, so Chao decides to buy it. The staff mentions it's on offer for only $198. Seeing this, Xiao2 becomes happy. When they come out of the store, a girl starts flirting with Chao. Seeing this, Xiao2 becomes very jealous, and she gets angry with Chao. Then Chao somehow convinces her, and after this, they all celebrate his birthday together. In the next scene, they return home and start cooking together. Then Xiao2 tells Chao that he has not worn the shirt he gifted her even for a day. He does not know how to cherish the things he gets. Chao says that he will do it first with her. Hearing this, Xiao2 feels shy. In the next scene, Xiao2 is working on a seminar project with Qian. Chao calls and asks her to go for lunch, but she refuses, which makes Chao a little jealous. He hacked Xiao2's computer and changes its wallpaper to a live rabbit. Xiao2 knows that Chao must have done this. Qian tries to get close to her, pretending to helping her, but Xiao2 does not pay attention. In the next scene, the rehearsal of their project is over and the whole team leaves, but Qian stays there and asks her to rehearse again and asks his friend to lock the door from outside. He says to Xiao2 that he knows she likes him. If she does not like him, then why is she feel shy to see him? Xiao2 tells that she does not feel shy, but her face is like that. Then Xiao2 says that she understood that he was the one who posted the gossip about Chao. Qian says yes, and then he starts misbehaving with her. Then Chao and his friends come there. Chao beats Qian very well and takes Xiao2 away. At the dorm, Chao's friend tells Chao that Xiao2's new post update has arrived, and here we comes to know that one of the online viewers of Xiao2's story was Chao. In the next scene, Chao says to Xiao2, if she is free, would she come with him to Lin City? He have a competition there, 2 days and 1 night. Hearing this, Xiao2 becomes quite nervous. The next day, Xiao2's roommates tease her, 2 days and 1 night with the future boyfriend. Here, Jiang gives her all her cosmetics and also a dress to impress Chao. Now they reach their destination, where both are quite nervous. After reaching the room, both get ready to go out for dinner. Seeing Xiao2 in a skirt for the first time, Chao keeps looking at her. After that, they enjoy street food, where Xiao2 feeds Chao with her hands. Due to the crowded market, Xiao2 gets quite close to Chao in the jostling, and both of their heartbeats start to race. In the next scene, after freshening up, Xiao2 checks the dress Jiang gave her. Seeing a sexy dress, she thinks, Jiang, I won't let you go for this. Just then, Chao comes into her room and says that his electric kettle is damaged and he need to heat some water. Xiao2 quickly hides the dress. Then Chao comes closer and asks, why is her hair wet? He starts drying her hair with a towel, but in the process, he falls on her. Then he says, does she know what he wants to say? Xiao2 says, tell me. Chao says, we've known each other since childhood. If I have to be with someone in this life, I want it to be you. I like you. Do you want to be in a relationship with me? Xiao2, feeling happy inside, says, we'll talk about this after you win your competition. Chao agrees and then kisses her. After that, he wins the competition. When Xiao2 returns, she tells everyone that she and Chao are dating. Hearing this, Jiang is very happy, but Ling Long is upset. In the next scene, Xiao2 is working on her photography homework. Chao arrives to join her, and seeing her in her outfit, he says, it seems like a new trend. Xiao2 takes a few photos, but feels quite uncomfortable in her skirt. She asks Chao, don't we look like a couple? We don't look like the couples in dramas. In response, Chao, behaving affectionately and says, should we act like this then? As a kissing scene vibe starts to build, Xiao2 makes a funny face. Seeing this, Chao starts laughing. However, just as they were about to kiss seriously, a man comes and disturbs them. In the following scene, Chao walks Xiao2 back to her dormitory. He hopes for a good night hug, but innocent Xiao2 just takes her bag and camera and walks away. The next day, Xiao2 and Jiang are together when their old classmate Wen calls Xiao2 to discuss some plans, but he doesn't inform Jiang. Later, Xiao2 meets Chao, who invites her to go with him to Forest Park during the holiday. Xiao2 declines, saying she has an appointment with someone but doesn't reveal who it is. Chao asks, is it a girl or a boy? Xiao2 responds, maybe a boy, and leaves saying she has class. Chao is left wondering, what does it maybe a boy mean? Who could it be? The next day, Jiang planned to attend her idol's fan meetup during the holiday. However, despite Xiao2's efforts, her plan didn't change. So, Xiao2 told Jiang that, actually, she wants her to stay with her because she and Chao have broken up. He said he is no longer interested in her. Hearing this, Jiang canceled her plan to give company to Sayoto. At that moment, Chao came and asked Xiao2, "Where were you? We were supposed to go to the library together. Did you forget?" Then Xiao2 said to him, she doesn't want to go anywhere with him now. Poor Chao couldn't understand what was happening. He went to his room and vented his anger on his roommates. Then Xiao2 messaged him to meet in the evening, saying she had something to tell him. Chao started imagining that she might be calling him to break up. In the next scene, Xiao2 came to Jiang and said that Chao was seen talking to a girl. Hearing this, Jiang went to teach him a lesson. Chao was with Wen, but Jiang mistook Wen for a girl. She was surprised to see that it was Wen with Chao. Wen shared his feelings with Jiang, and before he could say "I love you," Jiang said, "Yes, I love you too." On the other hand, Chao's asked Xiao2 why she didn't tell him earlier. Xiao2 explained that Wen had forbidden her. Then Chao pretended to be angry with Xiao2, and she started trying to pacify him. Just then, Xiao2's mom video called her, and, seeing Chao with her, asked if they were on a date. Xiao2 replied, "No, she and Chao were just taking a walk together." Then Chao asked why she wasn't making their relationship public. Xiao2 explained, if her mom finds out now, she will either ask them to get married or get engaged, so she will tell her when the time is right. Then, before going to her dormitory, Xiao2 kisses Chao, and Chao kisses her back. The scene shifts to when they come home for the holidays. Early in the morning, Xiao2 comes to Chao's house and wakes him up, but he is pretending to sleep. Xiao2 tells him not to pretend, so Chao pins her on the bed, and a romantic scene is about to happen when Chao's dad comes in and asks what they want for breakfast. Xiao2 tries to turn the romantic scenario into a fighting one, but his dad understands what's going on. Afterward, they go outside and Chao hugs her from behind. Xiao2 says, "What if our parents see us?" Chao asks, "What if we make our relationship public?" Xiao2 kisses Chao and says, "No." Chao kisses her back. Then Chao asks Xiao2 that she went shopping with mom today. Why didn't she wear that dress? Xiao2 becomes nervous because she bought a lot of innerwears only. Then she warns him not to tell their parents about their relationship yet. After that, they hold hands and go for a walk. As she gets closer to him during their night walk, they see neighbors also there for walk. Chao asks, will they now have to hide their relationship from the neighbors too? Xiao2 says, of course we need to hide from the neighbors or they will tell our parents. Then they see their parents playing cards and join them. During the game, they start fighting, making Chao's father suspicious about whether they are really in a relationship or not. In the next scene, their parents leave for a 7-day trip. Xiao2's father doesn't want to leave them alone at home, but they are forced to go. Chao happily plans for all 7 days. But on the first day, Xiao2 says her cousin is visiting. On the second day, she's taking her cousin back. On the third day, she's completing a photo shoot task with some college friends. On the fourth day, she says she has her period. Chao thinks they won't spend any time together. The next day, Xiao2 brings breakfast to Chao's house. Chao asks, 3 days are left. Do you have any plans today? Xiao2 says, yes, Jiang invited me to a movie. She kisses him, making his cheeks red. In the next scene, Xiao2 meets Jiang, where Wen is also present. Jiang asks, where is Chao? I asked for a couple's date. Xiao2 says, I thought it would just be the two of us here, but no problem. I'll explain it to him later. In the following scene, before Xiao2 can explain, Chao shows her a photo of the three of them and says, a friend from school sent this to him. Xiao2 says, she really didn't know Wen would come. Otherwise, she would have asked him to come along. But Chao says that she never cherish him. She don't want anyone to know they are in a relationship, and she just ignore him. After hearing this lecture, Xiao2 leaves without explaining anything. In the next scene, Xiao2 realizes that she shouldn't have ignored Chao like that. So, she was going to meet him, but Chao arrives and tells her that he has lost the key to his house. Then, he gives Xiao2 a cake and apologizes to her. Xiao2 apologizes in return, saying that sometimes she forgets they are in a relationship. Chao responds by saying that he has created an app that will remind her that they are in a relationship. Meanwhile, Xiao2's father had brought them home a day earlier. Xiao2 teases Chao, saying, how would it be if she ignored him for a few more days? Just then, their parents arrive outside the house. But inside, Xiao2 and Chao are busy being romantic, with Chao pushing her into the sofa. Suddenly, Xiao2 hears a keys sound from Chao's pocket and realizes he lied about losing the key. As Chao is about to kiss her, their parents walk in. Xiao2's father seems a bit upset seeing them together, but the other three look quite happy. In the next scene, Chao returns to his dorm. On the other side, Jiyang takes Xiao2 to a seminar, but she isn't excited about it at all. Chao is also there, but Xiao2 still doesn't feel excited. However, when she sees Jun on the stage, she becomes very excited and tells Jiyang that Jun was her childhood crush. In the following scene, Jun tells Chao that he wants him to join his company after graduation. He says that after joining his company, Chao can do whatever he wants. Chao agrees but sets two conditions. First, his roommates must be on his team, and second, Jun must stay away from Xiao2. Hearing this, Jun says it means he is very serious about his relationship. He accepts both conditions. In the next scene, Xiao2 and Jiyang have been assigned a homework task to cover the news. They start shooting a video for the news coverage. Xiao2 then sends Jiyang to spend time with Wen. Suddenly, they see a boy approaching, and a lady deliberately falls in front of his bike. Everyone starts blaming the boy. Xiao2 and Jiyang come to see what's happening. Jiyang tells Xiao2 that the boy seems innocent to her. I think we should expose this case. The next day, Xiao2 and Jiyang looked very worried because they couldn't find any news to finish their homework. Then Jiyang, looking at her phone, said to Xiao2, "The video of that boy with the bike from yesterday is trending, and everyone is blaming him. I think we should use this opportunity to get him justice, which will also help us finish our homework." They then watched the video they shot yesterday and realized that the boy with the bike was not at fault. After that, they spend the whole night editing the video. A few hours later, their news starts trending, and the boy with the bike comes to thank them. Then we see a flashback scene where the boy is going to a cafe and sees Xiao2 calming a crying child. So he gets impressed by Xiao2. That boy's name is Xian. He goes to Xiao2 and thanks her, asking for the video of the bike incident as an excuse to get her number. Just then, Chao arrives there and takes Xiao2 away. The next morning, Xinlan brings a lot of drinks for Xiao2 and says it's a thank you treat from him. As Shan is leaving her dorm, Chao sees him. Later, at night, Shan calls out to Xiao2 outside her dorm and has even set up decorations. Xiao2 comes down and asks, "What is all this? People might misunderstand us." Xian responds, he will start approaching her from now on. Xiao2 says that she already have a boyfriend, so please don't waste your time. Xian replies, yes, he already know that, but he will still try. Maybe he will win this love war. Chao's classmates witness all this and show the video to Chao in the dorm, telling him everything. Chao's friend suggests he should make his relationship public so no one will propose to Xiao2 again. The next day, Xian is waiting for Xiao2 outside her dorm with breakfast, but Xiao2 says, I'm on dieting right now, and by the way, I am your senior, so please call me sister. Just then, Chao arrives. Xiao2 introduces him to Xian, saying, he is my boyfriend, and we are in a very good relationship. Xian replies, I don't think your relationship is that healthy. If it were, why haven't you made it public yet? Chao doesn't even know how to be romantic. You don't even know the basic rules of a relationship. Xiao2 responds, I'm not romantic either, so we are a perfect match. She then walks away with Chao. In the next scene, when Xiao2 goes to her room, Jiang tells her that Chao has posted something about her on his account. Xiao2 goes to check the post and sees that Chao has blocked her. Jiang explains that Chao probably thought the post might make her angry, so he blocked her. He might have posted it to keep Xian away from her. Despite understanding this, Xiao2 gets very angry at Chao for blocking her. The next day, Xian is again outside Xiao2's dorm. Chao says, oh, so you haven't given up yet. Xian replies, until you two are married, I still have a chance. Just then, Xiao2 comes out of the dorm, and Xian confesses his love to her again. Seeing this, Chao also starts being affectionate with Xiao2. Though Xiao2 is angry with Chao, she ignores Xian and leaves with Chao. In the next scene, Chao takes Xiao2 to an apartment and tells her that he bought this apartment for them. After this semester, he will go for training at Jun's company. After graduation, both of them will live here together. He gives her the key to a separate room, making Xiao2 blush. In the following scene, they spend the night together in that apartment, enjoying their time together. Xiaodu takes a photo and posts it on her social media. Seeing this post, Xian finally gives up. The next day, Jiang goes shopping with Xiaodu because she had an interview at a company. Jiang tries on many clothes and sends pictures to her boyfriend Wen, who is on a trip in a mountain area with no network. Wen tries to message her, telling her he asks on the trip, but the message doesn't go through. The next day, Chao's roommates ask him in the dorm, Xiaotu will move into your apartment much later. Can we stay with you until then? But Chao refuses. In the next scene, it's Jiyoung Ellis' birthday. Xiao Tu wishes her a happy birthday and takes her to Chao's apartment to celebrate. All their friends join in celebrating Jiyoung's birthday. However, Jiyoung hasn't received any calls or messages from Wen, so she tells her friends, "Don't sing a birthday song, sing a breakup song instead." Then she starts crying. Now we see that Jiyoung has broken up with Wen and has fallen into a deep depression. Xiao Tu tries very hard to comfort her, and even her roommates support her a lot, but Jiyoung still can't get over the shock. The scene then shifts to 20 months later, where Jiyoung is going for an internship at a company. On the other hand, Xiao Tu has also started interning at a company, where a colleague named Wei Wei asks her to bring coffee to the meeting room. Seeing this, some girls say, "Everyone knows that Wei Wei is an intern like us, but she still keeps ordering Xiao Tu around." In the next scene, Xiao Tu is at her company when she gets a video call from Han, who tells her that he is coming back to China. Xiao Tu is very happy to hear this. Then she messages Chao, telling him she's on leave. Chao calls her and says, "Then go back to the room safely." Xiao Tu asks, "Aren't they having dinner together tonight?" Chao replies, "No, because he have an appointment with someone tonight." Hearing this, Xiao Tu wonders if his appointment is with another girl. After thinking about it, she goes to Chao's apartment and asks his friend about Chao's appointment, but his friend doesn't know either. Then she checks his location and sees that Chao is coming back. She thinks he must be bringing the girl with him, but she then sees Chao arriving with Wen. Seeing Wen, Xiao Tu says, "It looks like you're living a good life without Qian, but poor Jiyoung fell into depression because of you. All boys are the same." Wen responds that he didn't ignore her on purpose. He went to her university several times to meet her, but she refused to see him each time, and finally, he gave up. Xiao Tu tells him that they both still love each other, and their breakup was just a misunderstanding. He should approach Jiyoung again. Hearing this, Wen gets motivated and leaves. After Wen leaves, Chao gets close to Xiao Tu and asks, "What did she mean by all boys are the same?" Xiao Tu says, "Did she say that? Well, what she said was true." Then Chao starts kissing her, but his friend comes out of his room. Chao takes Xiao Tu to his room and says, "By now, her dorm must be closed, so why don't she stay here tonight?" Xiao Tu replies, "But his bed is quite small, and she can't let him sleep on the sofa." Chao says, "Why would he sleep on the sofa? We'll sleep on the bed together. Next time when she come here, he will have bought a bigger bed." After this, Xiao Tu goes to sleep. Then Chao lies down next to her, making Xiao Tu feel very nervous. Chao wanted to see her reaction, so he was teasing her intentionally. Then Xiao Tu, lifting her blanket, says, "Fine, do whatever you want to do." Chao responds that what he want to do will happen in the future. For now, just sleep. Hearing this, Xiao Tu becomes very happy. Then she starts seducing him intentionally to test his self-control. Chao, getting close to her, says that if she keeps seducing him like this, he won't be able to stop himself from doing everything. Xiao Tu asks that, what will he do? Chao kisses her on the forehead and says, "Just go to sleep now." Xiao Tu hugs him and starts to sleep. Chao says, "Don't hug me so tightly. Just because I'm not doing anything doesn't mean I don't want to." In the next scene, Chao takes her to a restaurant, and Xiao Tu thinks that it looks like Chao is going to propose to her. Then the waiter brings their food. Xiao Tu starts looking for a ring in the food, but when she doesn't find one, she thinks the ring must be in the wine. So she drinks all the wine too, but there was no ring in the wine either. Seeing all this, Chao asks her why she's drinking so much. He then gets up, goes to the waiter, and says something quietly. Xiao Tu thinks he's asking for the ring, but a little later, the waiter comes back with a blanket. Chao had asked for a blanket for Xiao Tu so she wouldn't get cold. After leaving the restaurant, Chao asks, why was she acting so weird today? Didn't she like the restaurant? Xiao Tu replies, she thought his was going to propose to her. Hearing this, Chao says that he didn't know she was so excited about getting married. Then he pulls her close and says, her dorm must be closed by now, so come to his apartment. In the next scene, Xiao Tu is about to go to sleep when Chao comes to her room and says, it's very cold in his room. He wanted Xiao Tu to invite him to sleep in her room, but Xiao Tu gives him an extra blanket and tells him to go. Chao returns the blanket, rudely says goodnight, and leaves. In the next scene, Chao is sleeping on the sofa, and Xiao Tu comes over and covers him with a blanket. As Xiao Tu starts to leave, Chao pulls her close and pushes her onto the sofa and starts kissing her. Xiao Tu surprisingly says, so you were pretending to sleep? They continue kissing, but Chao's friend comes out of his room to go to the bathroom, making Xiao Tu very embarrassed. She quickly runs away. In the next scene, we see that Jiyoung has returned after completing her internship and asks Xiao Tu how her relationship is going. Xiao Tu replies, They share a bed, but nothing has happened between them yet. Jiang teases her, saying, "It's impossible that nothing has happened if you're sharing a bed." In the next scene, Xiaotu takes Jiang outside, knowing that Wen is about to propose to Jiang. Seeing the decorations, Jiang says that this way of proposing is very old-fashioned. She goes to see who is proposing to whom and is shocked to see Wen in front of her. Wen says, "It's been 632 days since their breakup, but not a single day has passed without missing her." Hearing this, Jiang starts crying and tries to leave, but Wen stops her. Then Wen plays a song of her idol and starts dancing, just like Jiang used to do in front of Wen at school. Seeing this, Jiang cries even more. Wen approaches and hugs her and says that they should restart their relationship. Jiang starts to leave again without replying, but Wen tries to stop her. Jiang tells him that she can't forgive him so easily. She needs some time. Wen agrees to this. In the next scene, Xiaotu's boss assigns her and Wei Wei a task to see who can gain more audience through their interviews. However, the boss behaves very rudely towards Xiaotu. In another scene, Xiaotu's colleague is in the washroom, talking on the phone, and says that Xiaotu can't gain more audience than her in such a short time. But if she interviews a celebrity, it might be possible. Hearing this, Xiaotu thanks her for the idea. In the following scene, we see that Xiaotu has invited Han for an interview at her company. Han tells Xiaotu, "Sit with him and talk." Xiaotu responds that she is so busy right now. Then Han says, "So, you can't even do this for your guest? I left something very important to come here at your request, but you don't value me at all." Just then, the company director arrives and expresses his disbelief that such a big celebrity is participating in their show. Han replies, "You should thank Xiaotu for that because she's the one who invited me here." Hearing this, the director praises Xiaotu, and her boss is also impressed and continues to praise her. In the next scene, we see Chao teaching Xiaotu how to cook, but then he stops and starts kissing her. Just as they are kissing, their food gets ready, so they decide to have dinner first. The next morning, Chao wakes Xiaotu by calling her honey. Xiaotu is blushing and says that they aren't even married yet, so why he is calling her honey. Chao replies, "We've been married for 3 years. Xiaotu responds that does that mean she has lost her memory? If they have been married for 3 years, don't they have any kids yet? Chao says, if she want kids so soon, they can have them. Xiaotu says, "You're joking with me, right?" Chao replies, "Yes, we aren't married yet, but we are engaged and your dad has accepted our relationship. We'll get our marriage certificate someday." Then Xiaotu tells Chao that she invited Han for breakfast today. Chao says, "Change your dress before he arrives." In the next scene, we see Han making breakfast for them. Xiaotu scolds Chao, saying, "How can he make his guest cook?" She tries to kick Chao but accidentally hits Han. Han says, "You seem to forget that this is the leg of a singer and dancer." Then Xiaotu says that she never thought he can become such a big star one day. Han replies that she were the one who supported him. This brings back a flashback for Xiaotu, where a reporter asked Han if he had a crush. So Han says, "Yes, she is an ordinary girl and the first girl in my life who supported me to get here." Now, Han tells her that I said all that for public attention. Anyway, I'm an idol, and idols are always single. After Han leaves, Chao comes out of the shower at night and starts trying to seduce Xiaotu. He goes to her and starts kissing her. Then they romance and spend the night together. In the next scene, we see the next morning, when Xiaotu wakes up and thinks that should she keep pretending to sleep or get up quickly and wear her dress. She quietly gets up to wear her dress, but Chao grabs her and pushes her back onto the bed. But all of this is just Xiaotu's imagination. Just then, Chao comes over and says, "What are you thinking about?" Xiaotu replies, "She was just thinking about what clothes to wear." Chao says, "What's there to think about? Yesterday's clothes are dirty, so wear the other ones." Hearing this, Xiaotu becomes very nervous. In the next scene, we see Chao and Xiaotu out for a night walk, reminiscing about their childhood moments. Then they recall their school time memories. After that, they go to an amusement park, where Chao says to her, "Before the results of your entrance exam were announced, he was worried that they might be separated because he don't want to be apart from her. She don't know how hard the first year of college was for him because she was not with him. Will you marry me?" Hearing this, Xiaotu accepts his proposal. Then they both say, "I love you" to each other. At that moment, fireworks starts. In the next scene, we see that they are now married, and after some time, they have a baby. They often leave their baby with their parents to go on trips. In the next scene, they go to the place where the drama started. Chao says to her, when he proposed to her, he forgot one thing. Xiaotu asks, "What?" And Chao kisses her, marking the end of the drama. If you like this drama, then subscribe to this channel for more interesting dramas.